Good Wednesday morning, everyone. It is, of course, time for our weekly doctor visit. And on our WHBC Newsline right now, we have Dr. Stan Anderson. Good morning, Dr. Stan.
Hey, Pam. Great to talk to you.
Well, I am thrilled that we're going to talk about this multivitamin situation. I've always wondered if it was a good thing to take one or not. And, you know, you always hear some people say, oh, I take it religiously, and now there might be a good reason to. Explain to us what this study is regarding Alzheimer's.
Yeah, so this was something called the Cosmos study. So this was looking to see whether or not there was a difference in people that are taking a multivitamin that had 20 or more different components. So if you look at your vitamin that you're taking and it only has 3 or 4 or 5 different components, that was not what this study was looking at. The Cosmos was looking at the ones that, if you look at the label, it's got 20 different supplements that are found in it. And what they found was over a couple-year period that the people that were over the age of 60 that took this ended up having a better brain function. So their executive function was not better, but their episodic memory was improved. All right, the difference between episodic memory and executive function, It didn't make your IQ better. So what it it made you be able to remember the things that you used to know. That's what it helped you to remember better. And so it was pretty clear that taking a daily multivitamin slowed global cognitive aging by the equivalent of about 2 years compared to placebo. So one group of people was given a pill to take every day, and it was a placebo, and the other group was taking a multivitamin, and the individuals didn't know whether or not they were taking a multivitamin or a placebo. So it was a pretty good study. They looked at a fairly large sample. This is actually the third study that this group has done, and what it shows pretty clearly now is something that is going to change the way that most practitioners practice medicine, because historically we've always told people there's never been a good study that shows that taking a multivitamin makes a big difference. And so the study that I always quote was the old study from California that looked at 130,000 seniors, and half of them were taking a vitamin, the other half were not. And at the end of 5 years, there was no difference in outcome. Well, this is the first one that was looking at brain memory, brain function, and what this clearly showed is that people that are taking a multivitamin with at least 20 components in it ended up having better episodic memory, where they basically slowed global aging by about 2 years. So this is going to change some things within medicine, and this is it just was published just on Friday, and so this is a new thing, and so at this point now, as of when this study came out, I have now been telling people over the age of 60 that it may have an effect of stabilizing your episodic memory, your memory of things from long ago, and it will help to delay aging.
That's pretty good news. Now, do you have any tips on how you select a multivitamin? Anything we should know?
Yeah, so it basically makes sure that it's one that has a lot of things in it. So if it's just got 4 or 5, then it probably isn't going to be giving you the benefit. It's the ones that have the multi, so that would be the ones that are a lot. So the Centrum Silvers, the one a day, those would be the ones that generally would fit into this category.
Okay, very good. Wow, good to know, since I'm over 60.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's pretty cool. It basically does say you're not going to hurt yourself, and it will stabilize things. It doesn't make your memory better. It basically makes your memory so that it doesn't get any worse.
Yeah.
That's the big thing about it. So people that take a multivitamin they're not going to necessarily feel better unless they have a specific deficiency and the multivitamin replaces that. But for the vast majority of people, yeah, the reason to take a multivitamin is basically to keep things as good as they can be rather than to try to repair a deficiency. If you have a deficiency, you should probably take more than what's found in a multivitamin, but the multivitamin is designed to keep things stable.
All right. We also wanted to talk a little bit about exercise because we always mention about getting moving and those kinds of things. But really, there are several things that you need to be doing, correct?
Yeah, and this is one of the things because recently as I've talked with people about how do you maintain your best physical conditioning as we go into older age. We always talk about doing cardio. So everybody, yep, I try to walk. I try to get my 10,000 steps a day. I'm trying to be as active that way as possible. There's some other components. The first is strength training. So clearly one of the things that people should be doing along with the cardio is they should be focusing on trying to build some strength. So that would be 2 days a week. What people should be doing is they should be trying to maximize the amount that they can lift or the amount that they can push so that they can't push anymore. So in other words, think about getting the muscle exhausted. That's the strength training. The third component is flexibility. And now that's kind of common sense. Most of us, women are better than men in general when it comes to flexibility. Men kind of look at it as, yeah, I got to do this, and we kind of put it off. Women are usually better. So yoga, that's one way to work on it, but it's the flexibility that prevents the muscle injury from simply bending over and picking something up. So many people, they are fine until, yeah, all I did was I just tweaked it when I ended up bending over to pick up this box. And that's when everything went downhill. So, yeah, flexibility is good so that you don't tweak the muscles. The final component, and this is something that most people completely ignore, is balance. And balance is the ability to be able to stand on one leg or to bend over without falling over, because as we get older, our balance isn't as good. So that is something that we do recommend that people take just a few seconds a day, walk and try to stand on just one leg for 6 to 10 seconds at a time. The more that you focus on being able to balance, standing on one leg, being able to hold something so that you don't fall over, that's one of the things. Because as we get older, it's the falls that end up doing a lot of damage to our hips. We end up fracturing different bones. So it's the balance that's the component. So the four main elements include, yes, you want to do cardio, that's aerobic exercise. You want to spend at least 2 days a week doing strength training, or what's called anaerobic. After each exercise every day, you should spend somewhere around a minute doing some kind of flexibility. So stretching out your muscles. Specifically for men, it's more common to end up injuring your back. So we do recommend back stretching and hamstring stretching specifically. And then finally, everybody, maybe when you're putting your socks on every morning, to try to take 6 seconds standing on each leg and work on your balance so that you don't fall over, because you don't want that outcome.
Yeah, the balance thing is way harder than you think,
Yeah.
It is.
But you can build it up. The more that you work at it, the more likely it is that it will get better. So taking just a few seconds every day, maybe when you're at the kitchen, or maybe when you're standing up at the sink and you're ready to wash your hands, take a few seconds and just stand on one leg. Taking those little moments during the day and doing that is going to end up giving you rewards down the road.
All right. Lots of good stuff, Dr. Stan. I appreciate it. And we'll chat next Wednesday.
Hey, thanks, Pam. I look forward to it.
News, sports, traffic, and weather all morning long on your home of local news. News Talk 1480 WHBC, Kansas Morning News.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQL.